What up, you lab rats? This is episode number 40, and today is Tuesday Tips, and I'm going to teach you a little bit about branding your YouTube cover photo thingy. And I'm going to give you tips for branding your YouTube channel. Stay tuned. Hey guys, what's going on? This is the Lab Rat Dailies show, so welcome back. This is a daily podcast. Every day has a theme. Today's theme is Tuesday Tips because it's Tuesday Tips. And these are the in-between shows between me and Kevin, the main show on Wednesday on the Get in the Lab podcast. So, like I said before, the Get in the Lab podcast had a baby, and that was the Lab Rat Dailies. So, alright, I'm having way too much fun. For today, guys, the Tuesday Tips, right? So, this one's going to be really quick, and if you're listening on SoundCloud, you're going to want to go to YouTube and check this out, because this is going to be more visual than anything, okay? I'm going to let you guys know why you should be paying attention to branding your YouTube channel in a certain way. If you don't have a YouTube channel, this will still kind of be relevant to you because it's about branding. Okay, so I have a presence on YouTube that I haven't been really paying attention to really until recently, because I kind of figured the outlet of Facebook, which used to be kind of my main thing for reaching people, is no longer gaining the same reach as it did before. And so I was kind of thinking about that, and I was kind of thinking about how Facebook kind of treats the content creator, making them kind of pay for everything and nickel and diming them, versus YouTube, where they actually, want to contribute and help the content creator to be seen better. If the content is good, they always check up on, whether or not the content is actually useful, and they pay attention to that versus something like Facebook, where they're like freebooting off of YouTube. And so I kind of am siding. I'm on the YouTube side, and so I've been paying attention to YouTube and putting more effort into YouTube and my presence on there. And so I want to give you guys my tips on how to kind of brand your channel. Okay, so before I kind of go into like my little tutorial, and I'm going to get into Photoshop, okay, because that is what I use. You can use whatever you want, and I don't know how you're going to get around that, but you're going to have to be resourceful. But I'm going to show you on Facebook later on. But another reason why I want you guys to pay attention to how you brand yourself, whether it's YouTube or whatever, there has to be a consistency, and there has to be a connection kind of subconsciously of hitting a yes on all these kinds of things. And I'm going to talk to you guys a little bit about branding in more detail on the Cozy Sundays, because I bought a book called Primal Branding, and I was inspired to buy this book because of Tim Schmoyer, part of the video creators on YouTube, about branding yourself and what it means to actually be to actually brand yourself in a way that is powerful and that connects with your audience. And so one of the main things that kind of go into branding from this Primal Branding book that I bought is backstory, creed, icons, rituals, sacred words, non-believers, and being a leader. And so I know there was a lot of stuff, but and I'm going to get into that later in later episodes, okay? Don't worry about that right now. But for the most part, the way that you brand yourself is important, okay? So I want you guys to kind of understand that this is what I do on the clean media side, my company, Clean Media Productions. I help people brand and have a consistent brand that kind of speaks to all those things that I just talked about, right? And so that image that you put out into the world, it will change. It will change. And so you want to make sure that all of your channels out there in the world kind of lead back to a nice home base that makes sense. And YouTube, for some people, is one of those, pathways that could inevitably lead back to my main website, lead back to my Clean Media website. So I want to make sure all of the images are consistent and they line up, and I create a sort of icon within my brand. That way that when you see it anywhere, be it YouTube, Facebook, Instagram, whatever, you go, oh, that's Megan, or oh, that's Lab Rats, or oh, that's Getting Lab, and all these kinds of things kind of flood your mind about that image. And so I want to get you guys thinking in that kind of way. There's no set rules. There's just kind of like this guideline, I feel, because I change my mind all the time. So don't take my word for it. But I want you to start thinking in that way, right? That you are a personal brand and what you put out means something, okay? So part of that whole big scheme of branding yourself in a way that makes sense to your audience and represents you in a way that is thorough is images. Okay, so we're going to go into the computer and I'm going to show you how I design my, cover images for YouTube so that it kind of lines up with everything else and it makes sense. And every now and again I go through a kind of flush of all my images and reboot it. So I'm going to take you guys on the most recent one that I did so that it reflects my current business goals and personal goals and YouTube goals. I know that kind of fits, all that fits into one image. Hopefully, right? I hope that's what it's communicating to you guys, and that's what I was trying to do. So it would be great if you give me some feedback in the comments of do these images of what I have produced, what I'm going to show you in a minute, line up with the business goals that I outlined for you guys yesterday on the Motivation Monday podcast, which was trying to inspire content creators with heart, right? I want you guys to create content with heart. That's what. Hey, stop snoring. Hey, stop snoring. Get out. You're going to ruin the video. All right, let's go to the computer right now. All right, guys. Hey, what's up? So we're in my iMac right now, and we're taking a look at the latest YouTube cover that is on my YouTube page right now. And I want to show you guys how I did this. Okay, so you have to get the dimensions right and kind of have a template for yourself. That way you know where to get the safe margins for text, logos, your face, all that kind of stuff. Okay, so let's go ahead and bring up that template. And how you can find this template, okay, is go to Google Chrome. Go to Google Chrome and or just go to your search and look up Google. Look up YouTube cover template, right? Go to images and then find the one that is the most updated. You can put in like 2015 to kind of just make sure, because they'll change it every now and again. All right, so this one looks pretty good right here. I'm pretty sure, yeah. So YouTube channel art template 2015. Click on that. All right, and then click on that again. So now you know it's the full res. You want to make sure that you click on it in the full res before you drag it onto your desktop, okay? So this is its full size. I'm going to drag it. I just dragged it right to my desktop. Bam, right there. And then I'm in Photoshop right now, okay? And then I just drag it onto, I can either just drag it into Photoshop or drag it over a photo or something. I recommend just drag it into Photoshop. Just hold it right over the icon. It'll pop up for you. Okay, so there you go. It's right there. And what I would do to kind of help myself as I'm designing is to lower the opacity right over here. All right, I would lower it to whatever's cool for me that I can see where I'm in, like to make sure that all my stuff is in the right place. And then I can click the eye icon to make sure, just to give it like what's it going to look like in the finished product, right? So there you go. So on the desktop, you have to get all of your text within this box right here, within the desktop minimum and mobile, and then tablet and then desktop max. I would just leave this to be that, continuous image, drag that image all the way out. Okay, so let me break down for you why I designed it like this. Okay, so let's go ahead and erase all of this crap. Not erase, but just like hide it. Okay, so we have our blank template, And we have this here to kind of let us know where we need to stay in the lines of. We need to color inside of the lines. You can make the background anything you want, right? You can, I choose this like kind of gray color, but it can be black or whatever you want. And how we do that is by clicking on this little half moon, and you can choose a solid color. Let's choose blue. Okay, and then I'm going to use my friend as an example. Let's go find somebody, or maybe I'll just use me. Okay, so we don't we don't make anybody mad. Okay, so let's go find a picture of me somewhere. Okay, what's a good picture? So when I'm trying to decide on a picture to use for my YouTube cover, I want something with a clean backdrop usually, or I'll try to make it a clean backdrop. Okay, so let me see. I'll drag this image out here. Okay, so I'm gonna make sure I'm gonna have my my template in the line so I can see what's going on. Okay, and so what I like to do, guys, is I know that there's going to be this kind of box right here. That's for like my profile image. So I'm going to want to keep this area pretty clear and make sure I have a good margin of room for that over there. But otherwise, as you can see, like my face is kind of cut off. So I'm going to want to make this shorter. So this image, I can go ahead and hit Command T, and then I can shrink it down by holding Shift and shrink this down so I can kind of get it in here. I want to let this image bleed all the way over here, so let's do that. And then I think I'll put my face right there. Okay, so as you can see, this image is kind of out of the lines. But what I can do is I can trim it up and use this square marquee tool. Delete. Oh, if you can't delete on that image, just hit that erase button, click on it, and it'll become an editable rasterized image. Now you can hit delete. Okay, and then I'll go ahead and trim this part as well. Trim. Maybe I'll make a cleaner job of that next time, but you get the picture. Okay, so I have this kind of empty space right here, right? This is a really cool trick that you guys can do. Okay, so you take that square marquee and you start from the end, and you can go all the way, just cross over that picture right there. Okay, and then what you can do is fill it with a gradient. So this is really cool. I love gradients on everything because it just makes everything look smoother. So I click on that little half moon, go to the gradient, and you're going to want to pick your color beforehand over here on the color swatches. And then I'll hit, I'll want to have that gradient kind of come from the left. So I'm going to want to move this angle thingy. I'm going to hold down Shift and then move it. See how I can move it? I'm going to move it this way because I want it to come that way, right? And so it's still kind of showing all these things. I need the gradient to kind of be solid and then kind of grayed out right here. So I'm going to double click on the gradient. I'm going to drag this thing like maybe right over the image right there, something like that. Okay, I'm gonna hit OK. Okay, I'm gonna take off the template so I can see what it looks like. Okay, that's cool. That's pretty cool. Maybe I'll make this color something else. Something that like maybe it blends in with this guy. Did you see that? So I can, sorry, I can click with this eyedropper that color that I used on that gradient so it kind of blends in with everything. So I kind of like that, and then okay. And then as you can see, I didn't make that clean of a cut, but so cool. So let's put our template back, and we want to put some like text in here to kind of let the audience know what this channel is all about. Okay, so for me, after I kind of figured out what my goals were as a content creator, I kind of put that into one sentence. Like, I help, content creators create content with heart. So what I did was I came up with one sentence that kind of explains what I do. So I said, inspiring, writing in arrows. Okay, this is the text I use called A Vengeance Mightiest or something. It's a cool text. It's like a comic book strip. Okay, inspiring content creators from And then actually, you know what? That's going to be a long line enough. So I'm going to click on the arrow button, Command T, so I can make it larger. Hold down Shift so I don't mess it up. I keep it in, let's stay in the gray, okay? Inspiring content creators from, and I'll use the text again, the heart. All right, I like that. Command T, make this a little bigger again, like that. And then what I can do on the bottom of this, because this is still a lot of dead space right here. Actually, oh yes, I want to remember that my profile thingy is going to be right there. So let's make this a little bit smaller. And as you want to move things, right, you have to click on them over here in the, what do you call this? In the layers. Okay, right there. Enter when you're done. From the heart. I kind of like that the heart is a little bit bigger. Okay, because it kind of focuses on that. And then underneath it, I can put like, I can put what other attributes to this channel that people would kind of need to know. So like, I would maybe say like daily content, content published daily or something. Videos published daily. Daily videos. I would say daily videos on, and then I could say entrepreneurship. And then I could separate it, right? I can put relationships. Separate it, and I can put marketing. Okay, whatever. You want to kind of keep it to like 3 things so that it kind of lines up with everything. Something like that, okay? And then you can still put something down here, but kind of what I like to do, guys, is go like, hey, that's me, or something. I would be like, hey, that's me. It doesn't do little apostrophes, but whatever. Okay, I'm going to say, hey, that's me. And then I'll put that over here, kind of like friendly like. And then I can put like a little arrow or something. PW. I can put a little arrow here. Oops. See why I gotta hold down Shift? Okay. And be like, that's me. Like friendly, right? And then I'll want to kind of highlight certain things as well. So maybe I'll change the font color of daily videos on entrepreneurship, relationships, and marketing. Hey, that's me. I'll make sure that that's an apostrophe. And this kind of illustrates what this channel is about in a blink of an eye. Do you know what I'm saying? And this is who I am, right? And maybe I'll choose a different photo next time, but there's certain things that kind of go into the channel artwork, right, that are going to be consistent throughout your blend. So I just want you guys to pay attention to that. And if you don't have a customized channel artwork, you should think about doing that, okay? Because if you want your brand to have standing and have power and be recognizable across different platforms, doing things like this, and maybe you hire somebody to do it, I don't know, but making sure that you have that understanding of why you are doing this is going to be very helpful in your content creation and your branding and getting your message out, getting your content out. Okay. All right. So good things, guys. I hope you enjoyed that. Any questions on this? I know it was kind of like, I don't know if this was too advanced or what. I don't know what level you guys are at, but this is how I do everything. And so hopefully it wasn't too out of your scope. But give me some feedback. Did you enjoy this? Was this helpful at all? I'd really like to know so I don't keep, if it wasn't, then I should know so I don't make videos like this again, right? So let me know in the comments, and we'll catch you back in the bedroom. We'll see ya. That's how I do it, guys. It's not that hard. I think the only kind of hiccups that people will kind of come across is A, I don't have Photoshop, B, I don't know how to use it. But look, I just showed you right there, and you know how I got Photoshop. I used to bootleg it, But now I got frustrated with all the hiccups and the glitches. Now I pay for it because even though Adobe's service is sometimes kind of wonky, they're great on Twitter though. So if you're having problems with Adobe Cloud, tweet at them and they'll help you out, in my experience. But I now pay for Adobe Cloud, and I just used my student ID because I'm still a student, so I could use that and get that kind of student teacher kind of discount where you get everything for $20 a month. So I think that's pretty worth it. $20, that's not too hard to swing. It helps me get things done in my professional, things and services. So I think I should pay for the right thing, right? So yeah, I hope you enjoyed that episode. Pretty quick today. I mean, not typical. I mean, every now and again, Tuesday tips will be like that. They'll be kind of visual, kind of like the weekend warrior kind of thing. But I hope that would help you in your personal branding and, your content creation. Okay. So, tomorrow we are doing the show before we go to Maui, Kevin and I, on the Get in Lab podcast, the main show. So catch us tomorrow then. And otherwise, good things. Today was Tuesday Tips. I hope you enjoyed it. Leave a like on this video if you did. Subscribe to this channel if you dig what's going on over here on the Lab Rat Dailies. Get in the lab. Enjoy the Lab Rat fam bam. Once again, my name is Megan, reminding you to get in the lab. Peace out, guys. See ya. All right, cool. That was good.